Lemmings. Look at them, aren't they cute? Let's watch them die. I played this heaps back in 92-93, but not on the Super Nintendo. I had the game on PC. This is a straight up port though, and almost nothing was changed between the versions. The Lemmings do a little bit of talking now, which is cute. If anyone's been living under a rock and doesn't know what Lemmings is about, here it is. The Lemmings are stupid. They will just keep walking to their death. You have to save them by giving them all jobs to do, which will lead them to their nearest exit. The only thing this Super Nintendo version really needs is mouse control. It's a shame it doesn't have it, because as you're about to see, the Nintendo mouse came out just around the same time. You can use X and Y shortcut buttons to select a job from the bottom of the screen without having to move the cursor, which is very useful once you get the hang of it, but the D-pad just cannot replace a mouse in a game like this. Having said that, Lemmings is always great fun. It starts off insultingly easy, but before too long you'll be scratching your head as you try to figure out how on earth you're going to save these stupid little green-haired rodents. There's over 100 levels as well, so there's lots to play. Lemmings is a must-own on whatever machine you happen to have. This really isn't a game so much as a utility. A very strange utility. I really wonder how Nintendo came up with the idea. Perhaps one day Miyamoto was playing with Microsoft Paint in Windows 3.1 and thought, we could add Mario to this. Mario plus Paint equals Mario Paint. Or perhaps they just needed a new program to properly demonstrate the new Nintendo mouse, I don't know. Speaking of which, let's have a look at it. Man, I haven't used this in years. Remember when mice used to have a little ball inside? The mouse is good and solid, it always worked perfectly for me. So, let's start Mario Paint. What was that? One thing I'm beginning to remember now is that Mario Paint was really random. It was almost like a precursor to the WarioWare games in random weirdness. Okay, so let's start painting. Let's see, I want the background to be blue. Fill! Oh, you're joking. That's right, it's all coming back now. It has to fill every single line. Okay, that was ridiculous. I guess that's just the technology at the time, but it really shouldn't take that long to fill something. I'm just going to fast forward here to save you from hours of torture. And here's my finished product. Ta-da! Yeah, it's not very good, is it? Back in the day, I got pretty good at drawing with the mouse, and I even saved some of my Mario Paint masterpieces on videotape. Tape? What is this tape thou speakest of? A tape is like a DVD in cassette form. There was more to Mario Paint than just painting tools. You could add some simple animations on top of your paintings, like this. Would you believe that took me half a freaking hour? There was also the music program which, while incredibly limiting, you couldn't even do sharps or flats, it encouraged a new kind of creativity. Using the different instruments, you could create an arrangement of incredible beauty. Look out, Mozart! Or if you don't have the skill or the patience, there's pre-made songs for you. That's just showing off. If you're feeling a bit too creative doubt, you can click on the coffee mug to be taken to Nat Attack, the only thing in here actually resembling a game. It's a bit of fun. Swat the flies, woo! But I got sick of it in a couple of minutes and went back to painting. Playing Mario Paint in 2011 is strange. It's definitely a bit of fun to play around with, to discover its quirks and secrets, and as with all applications like this, the more you use it, the better you get. but I think the novelty wears off pretty quickly, and instead of an amazing piece of software, it comes across as an archaic tool in desperate need of some firmware updates. Mega Man 2 was amazing. Mega Man 3 was even better. So imagine my excitement when I heard that Mega Man 4 was on the way. In the meantime, I did what any self-respecting Mega Man fan would do. I invented my own Robot Masters. I was pretty proud of my designs, and I was quite confident that if I mailed them into Capcom, they would obviously include them in the upcoming games. It's laughable now, of course, but back then I was actually convinced that this was going to happen. Well, over the years, I haven't seen Whip Man, Moon Man, or Neon Man in any of the games. Time Man did eventually appear in PSP Mega Man 1 remake, and my Lava Man bears a striking resemblance to Mega Man 9's Magma Man. But could you imagine my shock and horror when I saw my first screenshot of Mega Man 4 to see Drill Man, almost exactly as I had designed him, right there staring back at me? I'd even planned him to be red. It was like someone had been spying on me. Mega Man 4 though was the anticipated game that would never come. Years and years went by and I waited for Mega Man 4, but in vain. For some reason it was decided that Australia just wasn't going to have any more Mega Man games. I discovered, only a year ago, there was actually a PAL version released, in very limited quantities, but only in Europe. I paid through the nose, but I got my copy, thank you eBay. So, Mega Man 4, how does it stack up? To my thinking, Mega Man 4 is the first game in the series to feel confident. The gameplay was pretty much perfected in the previous game, so there weren't many tweaks in this. It felt like the series had finally discovered what it wanted to be and played to its strengths. The main difference, of course, was the introduction of the Mega Buster. Just like Heat Man's weapon back in Mega Man 2, now Mega Man's regular weapon had 3 levels of power. Some people love this extra addition, some hate it. I quite like it. I was annoyed when it was removed in Mega Man 9, but nowhere near as annoyed as I was about the slide. There's also a new character called Eddie who drops into levels and gives you random crap. Kinda pointless, but whatever. There's also a brand new villain called Dr. Cossack, because, you know, while he was killed at the end of Mega Man 3, Cossack has built 8 new Robot Masters, and Mega Man steps up to the plate once again to deliver justice to these robotic renegades. So who are the Robot Masters this time? Ringman has a very strange level with disappearing platforms and giant hippos. Dive Man is a submarine, and therefore has an underwater level. He's a tough boss to beat, even with the right weapon. Skullman has a thing for, well, bones. His level's full of them. Brightman has a light bulb on his head, so watch out for the lights turning on and off during his factory stage. Dustman, or Garbage Man if he was more accurately named, hangs out in the waste disposal plant. I hope Mega Man washes his hands after going here. Drill Man, my Drill Man. He's in some underground tunnels, and you gotta watch out for the switches that can make rocks appear out of thin air. Toadman is found in the sewers. Ew. Since this boss is ridiculously easy, he's the boss most people will want to do first. Lastly is Pharaoh Man, who, surprise surprise, is found inside a pyramid, somewhere in the desert. I really like the cast of bosses in this game. They're all really different, both in appearance and fighting style. There are some cool weapons that they give Mega Man as well. All up, I think Mega Man 4 is just as enjoyable as a third game. Some people think this game felt stale fourth time around, but I think that's missing the point. Mega Man was never about innovation. The fourth game has got some great levels and bosses, and adds in a couple of minor adjustments just to give it its own flavour. Definitely standing the test of time, this one. Placed into the Super Play corner this month is an article about the Super Nintendo CD-ROM add-on and its current state in December 92. In a nutshell, Nintendo and Sony had made up after their lovers' quarrel, and they were on track to release the PlayStation together. This was before the mushrooms hit the fan, so to speak. Imagine what the console market would look like today if the CD drive had been released after all. Check out my blog to see the full article. It's quite interesting. Next week, it's Capcom's turn for some Super Nintendo love, and the one decent launch title for the Mega Drive gets a sequel. Peace out, dudes.